Hi seniors, it's Mrs. Ulsess, and I know we just met for our big senior group meeting, but I also know that we threw a lot of information at you, and we wanted to get some more information out to you about requesting your transcripts and sending SAT and ACT scores for your college applications. So today we're going to cover how to match your Common App to your Naviance account in order to be able to request your transcripts in Naviance. We're also going to show you how to add colleges to your colleges I'm applying to and request transcripts if you are not using the Common application. We're also going to talk about keeping your college list and decisions up to date in Naviance, how to self-report grades to Purdue or other colleges who may require it by entering your courses and grades into Common App, self-reporting SAT and ACT scores, and then also how to send SAT and ACT scores to colleges that may require them to be sent officially. So again, we're going to cover a lot of information, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do all of these things. So let's talk more about transcripts. So by now, you probably should have gotten copies of your transcripts along the way, and you know that the transcript is your official school record that shows all of your final course grades, your total number of credits, your GPA, year to year, and your cumulative GPA, and it will also show if you're meeting graduation pathways and how you're meeting it. Your transcripts also show what kind of diploma track you're on, so make sure that you're looking at your transcripts to make sure that you and your counselor are on the same page about what diploma track you're on. So most colleges will want to see an official transcript when you're applying for college, sent electronically from your counselor as part of that application. Now, students must request them in Naviance in order for their counselor to send official transcripts. So there's no other way to do it. You're not going to ask for a copy of your transcript for you to send to your college. We don't email them to colleges. We have to send them electronically through Naviance in order for those transcripts to be considered official. Now, sometimes you may want a copy of your transcript for insurance or for a coach or something like that. And if you ever need that, that's absolutely fine. Just talk to your counselor and we can send you a copy of that. Now, on occasion, some colleges will allow you to self-report your grades during the application process. So for instance, Purdue University, they ask you to self-report your grades within the Common application for that application process. Then once you've enrolled at that college, then they want a final transcript. So even if a college wants self-reported grades for the admission process, a final transcript absolutely must be sent after you graduate to the college that you're attending, because they want to make sure that you have not fallen off the bus, not totally bombed with all of your grades in your senior year, that you are continuing in the classes that you signed up for and keeping a very rigorous schedule, and that you've met all of their graduation requirements. So again, a final transcript must be sent once you've actually graduated. Now, finally, about transcripts, the Counseling Center will start sending out transcripts on August 30th. So again, once we get back to school, we're going to be working on making sure all your transcripts are 100% up to date, current. There are no mistakes on them. So transcript requests will begin being fulfilled on August 30th, but we will meet all the deadlines for college admission. So now we're going to go to my screen and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to request a transcript in Naviance. I'm going to show you step by step. So now that we've talked a little bit about transcripts, I'm going to show you how you request your transcripts in Naviance. And for many of you, it will actually start with the Common App first. So if you are filling out the Common application to send in your transcripts, there are a few things that you need to do in your Common App before you can match your Naviance account to your Common App and request your transcripts eventually. So here I am. I've already created my Common App account. I've entered my high school. Everything's kind of good to go there. But now I'm going to add my colleges. And so just for ease, I'm going to add a couple colleges that a lot of students apply to at Westfield. And it's as simple as going to that college search and typing in the name, looking at the filter, and then clicking the add button. So super easy. So now in my dashboard, you'll see my colleges listed there. But the one thing I need to do next is sign my FERPA release authorization. And so you're going to do that in this My Colleges tab. And you only need to do it one time. Once you do it for one college, it's going to apply it to all of your colleges. So if you click on the arrow button, it's going to drop down this and you'll see number 1, questions. So those are specific questions to each of the colleges, and you'll need to do that for each and every college. But there, next you'll see recommenders and FERPA. Now, I have already done this before for a previous video. So if you need to see how to do some other things, I have some other videos on our senior website. So I've already done it, but I can still walk you through it. So you're going to see this FERPA release authorization. And FERPA is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. And by doing this release, you are allowing us to send your records, to send your transcripts and letters of recommendation to those schools. Okay, so go ahead and click on that view release authorization. You can read through it. It's going to kind of tell you what that FERPA is all about. Go ahead and click that I have read and understand the FERPA release. And then on the next page, you choose whether or not you waive or do not waive the right to look at all of your recommendations and supporting documents. Most students go ahead and waive their rights to see their supporting documents because they trust that their counselor is going to put them in the best light. Also, just know that if you do not waive your right, it can be a red flag to colleges, but also you can only request to see your recommendations or transcripts or anything that was sent to the college that you actually attend. So if you don't get in anywhere, you can't get, or if you don't get into a specific college, you can't go back and ask to see your records. You can only do it to the college once you've been admitted and once you've enrolled. So then you're going to sign your name, save, and close. Okay, so like I said, once I do it for one college, it's going to be checkmarked for each and every college after that. So then once I've done that FERPA, then I'm going to go into my Naviance account. And Naviance looks a little bit different now, but what I'm going to do is still go to colleges I'm applying to. So now you can see that those colleges are listed there. And that is because I have actually matched my Common App account already. Now, for those of you who have not matched your Common App, you're going to find it just under the colleges I'm applying to. So there's going to be a link there. You're going to click on it. It's going to ask you to sign into your Common App account using your Common App email address and password, and it's going to link those two. And both of these things need to be checkmarked. Yes, I've matched my Common App. Yes, I've completed my FERPA. Once you do that, those colleges that you've already listed in your Common App will show up there. They'll automatically add in there. But you can see I don't have any transcript requests here. I have the colleges, I have their initial whatever regular decision dates, but no transcripts sent or requested. So I'm going to go over here to the right, click on request transcripts. And then it's going to ask what type of transcript. This is your initial transcript. It's the first one that you are sending to the college. So click on initial, and then it's going to ask you where you're sending those transcripts. So go ahead and just select every college. Click done. Then hit request and finish. So now you're going to see that transcripts have been requested. Now, the next step you're going to need to take in order for your transcript request to be in your counselor's queue and for your counselor to know that you're requesting your transcript, your application needs to be marked as submitted. So if it is marked as unknown, that's not going to show up in your counselor's queue. So what you need to do is you need to click on this edit button for each college. At the very top, have you submitted your application? Click yes. Even if you've not quite submitted it, go ahead and say that you're going to, if you know that you're going to apply there. Then it's going to ask for a couple other things, whether or not you're submitting your SAT or ACT scores. This is just for you and your counselor to know, by the way. So you can say yes, no, or undecided. Any of those is fine. And then the application type. So if you are applying an early action or a priority deadline, click on that. Again, that is just for you and your counselor to know. It does not get sent to the colleges. What gets sent to the colleges is only through the Common App. So just go ahead and mark the deadline that you're going for and click Save College Application. So now you're going to see transcripts requested, application submitted. Again, those are the two things that are going to make that transcript request show up in your counselor's queue for your counselor to then go and send your transcript. So it's absolutely imperative that you mark submitted for each of your colleges if you want your transcript to be sent. Okay? So I'm doing it real quick for all of my colleges. There we go. Transcript requested, application submitted. So how do you send or how do you request a transcript for college that you have not yet sent an application to. Or if maybe you are sending it to a college that doesn't have Common Application. So if you're not using the Common Application, you are going to click on this plus button and then again, search for the college. So maybe I'm applying to Indiana State through their application on their website. So I'm going to go with their rolling application. Next, it's going to ask, how are you submitting this application? Well, I'm not submitting it via Common App. I'm submitting it direct to the institution, and I've submitted my application. So add and request transcript. Then it's going to again ask, what type of transcript are you requesting? Mark initial, request, and finish. So let's take a look at Indiana State. It now shows transcripts requested, application submitted. And it's got this red line crossed out through this because that means I am not applying Common Application. Okay, so your counselor needs to know, are you applying Common App like the others, or are you applying direct to institution? Because it actually does dictate the kind of form the counselor completes and how they send the transcript in Naviance. So make sure that you've marked that. Now, something else that you'll want to do as you go through this process is, as you're going through the process and you're getting admission decisions, mark it in that college edit button. So you can go under result and mark that you've been accepted, or that you've been waitlisted or deferred, or if you've decided not to apply anymore. You can just say, I have withdrawn my application, or maybe I never completed that application. That helps your counselor know where you're at in the process. Okay. So one last thing, as you get closer to graduation, you're going to want to mark where you're attending. So it's going to pull up any college that you have listed there, except unless you've marked it as incomplete or withdrawn, or if you've marked it as denied, it won't show up in that drop box. So choose the college that you're going to attend. That is how we know where to send your final transcript. And marking your college that you're attending is the only thing you need to do in order to request that final transcript. And we send those final transcripts at the end of your high school career after you have graduated. Okay. So again, that is how you request your transcripts in Naviance. Now, one last thing I want to show you. Purdue specifically, and a handful of other colleges request something called courses and grades. They, in fact, do not need your official transcript until you have graduated from high school. They will accept your grades as you report them, self-reported through the Common App. So in your Common App tab, you will see a section called Courses and Grades. And if you click on it, it will show you which college requires it and which schools do not. So again, Purdue is the only one in my list that requires it. And you're going to need a copy of your transcript. So once you get that from your counselor, say, yes, I can access that. And then continue. And you are going to report all of the grades for each of your classes for grades 9, 10, and 11. So you're going to come in here, you're going to say what the school year was, 2021, I think, for your freshman year. Grading scale, make sure you mark it A through F, not 4.0, because that doesn't allow you to put in your weighted grades for that. And then trimesters. Then you're going to go through and you're going to add in your grades for each and every class exactly like it's on your transcript. You don't have to put in a fresh new line over here under the subject. You can just say, I took geometry and I took it regular. And then here are my 2 trimester grades. And then I had 1 credit per trimester. If it's AP, mark it as AP. If it's honors, mark it as honors. If it's dual credit, like your principles of marketing or maybe your accounting or construction classes, go ahead and mark dual enrollment. You don't have to mark a final grade because we do not average your trimester grades to give you one final year-long grade. So just put your trimester grades there and then hit continue. Now, one thing to note, it's going to ask you about your senior grades. Do you have 12th grade courses on your transcript? If you are filling out your Common App in your first trimester of your senior year, the answer is no. You do not have grades yet for 12th grade. So mark no, and that will check mark your grade 12. You're actually going to submit your schedule within that education button of the Common App, and it will ask you to submit your current or most recent year courses. And that is where you're going to submit all of the classes that you are taking for your senior year. Now, before I go on to the next part of our video where I talk about sending your SAT and ACT scores, just know that you can self-report your SAT, your ACT scores, or even your AP scores in your Common App. But if you are submitting test scores to be part of your application for admission, most colleges will want them sent officially from the SAT or ACT accounts. But you can self-report them, and this will give colleges a quick glimpse of what your test scores look like before they get those official scores. So that's it for requesting your transcripts in Naviance. Remember that Naviance is where you do everything, but if you are applying through Common App, you do need to match your Common App first. So again, next we're going to talk a little bit more about those SATs and ACTs, and again, how you are going to go ahead and send those to the colleges through your College Board or your ACT account. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about sending your SAT and ACT scores. So as I mentioned, a lot of colleges are test optional now, but some still do require an SAT or ACT score for admission. So you'll want to talk to your counselor about the test optional process, because this is a very individual decision for each and every student, and it really varies from college to college. Because even if a college is test optional, you may still want to send your SAT or ACT scores. And some of the things that you might want to keep in mind, some of those factors are you within the college's middle 50% of test scores? That is their average range of test scores. So for instance, I use middle 50% range is a 1250 to a 1400. And if you are in that middle 50%, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and send those test scores. Obviously, if you're above that middle 50%, then absolutely send in those test scores. And if your scores are just a good indicator of your abilities, go ahead and send them in. Now, if you are below that middle 50%, if you are below their average profile, maybe consider whether or not you want to send those test scores in. But definitely talk to your counselor about that, because like I said, it is an individual decision. Now, obviously, if a college is requiring test scores, like for instance, Purdue University, you absolutely must send those test scores in. And most colleges, whether or not you're sending your test scores in, want to get those scores officially through the College Board or your ACT account. So if you did not select your colleges to receive your scores when you registered for the SAT or ACT, what you're going to do is you're going to log into your College Board account or log into your ACT account, go to your My SAT or ACT scores, and request those scores to be sent to your specific colleges. Now, when you send them from the SAT, College Board will send all of your score history to your college. So they'll send, if you've taken it 3 times, they will send all 3 test scores when you ask them to be sent. You can select each individual score to be sent, but most of the time you'll just send your whole full score history. Now, ACT, on the other hand, will only send 1 test score at a time. So if you've taken the ACT more than once, you will want to select, do I want to send both of them and send them separately, or did I do better on one than the other and I just want to send that one? If you can, I always recommend that you send your full score history for everything and let the college kind of figure it all out. Most colleges will super score, meaning that they'll take your highest sub-scores from the different times you've taken it to give you the best score all around. Now, when you are going onto your College Board or ACT account, keep in mind that it can take about 2 to 3 weeks for colleges to receive your test scores once you request them from your account. So do not wait till the last minute. Make sure that if you are applying early action, that you are requesting your SAT or ACT scores by about the middle of October or sooner. And then finally, students, we are going to offer a fall school day SAT. This is going to be the first time in a really long time that we have offered a fall school day SAT. It's going to be on the same day as the PSAT. So it's going to be October 11th at 9:05. It is going to be a paper and pencil exam. This is going to be probably the last paper and pencil SAT ever, so take advantage of it. It is going to be in the main gym, and you have to register for it. So unlike that spring school day SAT where every junior was signed up for it, you have to register for it, and registration is done online. Look for registration information in a Canvas website or a Canvas announcement from me in your senior class Canvas page, and then also on the WHS Counseling Center website, and I will also send information out about it by email to you and your families. So make sure you're looking for that. We are limited to about 230 students just based on the room that we have. So make sure that if you want to take this fall school day SAT, that you get signed up for it. And if you do take this fall school day SAT, your scores can get to colleges by that November 1 deadline. Now, if you're taking the fall school day SAT, there is an exam fee, just like if you were taking it on a Saturday. And that exam fee is $60 for students. And then if you are a 21st Century Scholar or a student on free or reduced lunch, it is only $8. So something to think about. And then those test fees will be charged to your Try One book fees. So again, fall school day SAT on October 11th, the same day as the PSAT. If you want to take it, make sure you get registered. So I know tons of information for the college application process. You've seen a lot today. If you have questions, talk to your counselor. We are here to help. And don't forget, we're going to be holding those individual senior meetings all throughout the month of September and October. So don't worry, your counselor will get to you. It just takes us a long time to get through each and every one because these meetings are often about 20 to 30 minutes each. So again, we will meet with you individually to go over all of this information. Next, make sure that you check out the Senior College Planning website. There are a ton of tutorial videos, lots of information. You're going to be able to find a lot of information while if you're at home working on applications and you've just got some questions, jump on that Senior College Planning website. Then next, we are going to have those core time college application workshops every Tuesday, starting in mid-September all the way through October. So you can sign up. It's just an application workshop where you are going to have time to work on your college applications with myself and other counselors there to help you and answer questions along the way. And then we have a fun evening college application workshop in October, where again, you can come. It's from 6 to 8 on October 4th in the main cafeteria. We'll get you guys some pizza or Jimmy John's, and you just work on your applications, and the whole counseling staff is there to help you. And then finally, take advantage of those college admission counselor visits that Westfield has during core, so you can meet with the actual admission counselors from the colleges who are reading your applications, who are making admission decisions, and they are the ones that can answer so many specific questions about your colleges. So again, we've got a lot of information for you to help you through this college admission process. Thanks for watching.